Now, before I get into this review, a little history. I was a big fan of the rebooted Goosebumps series from 2023. In fact, that year I got to attend New York Comic Con as press and had an amazing opportunity to interview the creative team behind it. Later, when the actor strike was finally lifted, I got to interview the cast as well. I have to say, when it was announced that this series was not picking up where the cliffhanger left off, I was disappointed, but really excited to see where this series was going to go. So, what did I think of Goosebumps The Vanishing? I want to start off on a positive note, tell you guys what I overall enjoyed. The cast is great, with the big name here being, of course, Friends star David Schwimmer. And I'll just be honest with y'all, Schwimmer feels like a downgrade from Justin Long, but I still think Schwimmer does a great job here in the role of a dorky, overly protective scientist. And when it's time for him to do a villain turn, I have to give him a lot of props. He does an excellent job just being this really chilling guy. It almost makes me kind of wish that I could see him in some other thriller type roles. Like the first season, the younger cast works incredibly well together. Everyone's great, but for me, the standouts were Sam McCarthy and Jaden Bartels, who play twins. They really feel like siblings. They have such a great chemistry together, and there's a back and forth that feels very natural and authentic. My fellow horror fans will be excited to learn that the Blair Witch Project's co-director got to direct a very fun episode that pays fitting tribute to the found footage genre, but unfortunately that's kind of where my praises end, because for all the fun, spooky hijinks and some pretty gory, gross out effects, I think the first season was stronger. So my biggest complaint is the writing isn't as sharp and consistent, and I didn't overall feel as engaged with a narrative which isn't as focused. Sure, the first season had some of these issues in that department, but I don't know, I was invested in the plot and characters enough to overlook some of these issues. While yes, I thought the acting here is pretty good, I found myself not connected with this new batch of characters. Again, it's not that I think every character in season 1 was the most amazing, charming human on the planet, but I still found myself really enjoying the gang and their overall dynamic, where here, not so much. The show also saddles itself with a bingo card of cliches and dialogue that sways from the cringe to the laughably awkward. Here's the thing, I can deal with some of this because this show's IP isn't exactly on the level of William Shakespeare or anything, and I even expect some piping hot cheese from this kind of show. Yet, as much as I love cheese, I can either have too much of it or it frankly just turns sour and not very appetizing. Even the stories that are woven throughout aren't exactly top tier. Like last season, we had a smattering of some of the most iconic Goosebumps books: The Haunted Mask, Night of Living Dummy, The Cuckoo Clock of Doom, and others. All great material. And here's the thing, I don't think the books they chose are bad per se, it's just the writing doesn't feel as invested in the lore, or more importantly, building up the tension like in the first season. Having said that, I will give the showrunners some credit for featuring another queer storyline. Now, I only got the first 6 episodes from Disney, so I am curious to see exactly where this show is going from here. Again, I don't think it's awful, even though I don't think it's great. It certainly has its own brand of charm, but I just wasn't as invested in the overall story and the characters, and frankly, I just kind of wanted a continuation of the first season. But now I'm dying to know what y'all think of this series. I know I'm posting this a little bit early, but probably the majority of y'all are watching this after it airs, so I want to know what y'all think of it. And as a bonus question, what is y'all's favorite Goosebumps book? Please weigh in the comments, and hey, while you're around, please check out some of these other videos, and I will see y'all in the next one.